Hi, I'm Jason and welcome to Dosatron University. Today, Dosatron's troubleshooting video series features the D45RE15 20 GPM injector. In this video, I will use a strap wrench, number 1 and number 2 Phillips screwdrivers, a flat blade screwdriver, and needle nose pliers. It's best to perform troubleshooting in a clean area, or if your injector is in line, cover your stock tank so you won't lose any of the parts. The three key areas in troubleshooting are: 1. The injector is not drawing the concentrate, but is clicking. 2. The injector is pushing water down into your stock solution tank, but is clicking. Number 3. The injector is not clicking. The first two are the most common. If your injector is clicking, but not drawing the concentrate, it could be as simple as the strainer is plugged with debris. Take a look at the strainer. If it's clogged, clean it out and retest your Dosatron. If there is still no suction, but the injector is clicking, turn the water on. Unscrew and remove the suction hose nut and hose. Then check to see if you feel suction on your finger. If you feel suction, just cut a ½ inch off the top of the hose and reattach. You should see the liquid begin moving up the suction hose. If you don't see liquid moving up the hose, or you didn't feel suction on your finger, turn the water off. Open a valve downstream to release the pressure. Unscrew the suction hose nut and remove the suction hose. Set both aside. Now unscrew the 4 screws around the injection sleeve. Pull the injection stem assembly straight down and out of the lower housing. Grasp the plunger and pull it straight down. Take a close look at the plunger seal for nicks, scratches, or wear. If you see damage or don't remember the last time you changed the seal, consider replacing the plunger seal now. To change the plunger seal, pinch and roll it off of the plunger. Install the new seal into the groove on the plunger. To reinstall the injection stem, slide it into the lower housing and align the 4 screws in the metal retainer and body. Hand tighten the screws carefully. Now thread the suction hose nut onto the hose. Slide the hose onto the barb and hand tighten the nut. Slowly turn the water on and your injector should now be drawing the concentrate. If your injector is pushing water down into the concentrate tank, it's time to investigate the check valve. To do this, remove the hose nut and hose and set aside. Unscrew and remove the check valve barb. Remove the check valve seal, cone, and spring. Inspect all the check valve parts. If they are dirty, you may be able to soak, brush off, and reinstall. If you see damage or you don't remember the last time you changed these parts, now's a good time to replace them. Insert the new check valve spring into the new cone and press it into the stem. Now position the new check valve seal with the groove side up inside the check valve barb and hand tighten. Thread the suction hose nut onto the hose, slide it onto the barb and hand tighten the nut. This should stop the water from dripping back into the concentrate tank. If the injector isn't clicking, we need to investigate the piston. Unscrew and remove the suction hose nut and hose. Using the strap wrench, loosen the body nut and remove. Pull the lower housing straight down. Lift the piston up and out of the lower housing. Set the lower housing aside. Inspect the white valve support on the bottom. Press the push rod down and check the 2 actuator springs on the top. If they are broken or missing, they will have to be replaced. You can check the piston shell 2 ways. First, by inspecting the upper and lower flanges to see if they are worn or have deep scratches. The second test is to check the piston shell's fit inside the housing. To do this, slide the piston into the upper housing. It should be a snug fit. Now, slide the piston into the lower housing. It should also be a snug fit. If it feels loose or is worn, the piston shell needs to be replaced. To replace the piston shell, use the number 1 Phillips screwdriver and remove the valve support screw and plastic retainer. Then remove the 4 screws around the plunger rod. Press the push rod up and pry the valve support off of the inlet valve with a flat blade screwdriver and set aside. Next, remove the 4 screws in the center of the piston shell to release the actuator assembly. Pull the actuator assembly out and discard the old piston shell. Using the needle nose pliers, position the 4 screws in the center of the new piston shell. Then position the actuator assembly in the shell as shown and hold firmly. Now hand tighten the 4 screws in a star pattern. press the white plastic portion of the actuator side to side. If there is movement, retighten the screws. Reinstall the valve support by sliding it onto the inlet valve. Next, position the retainer and hand tighten the screw. Then reinstall the 4 screws in the black plastic retainer and align the pin in the plunger rod as shown. Carefully hand tighten them in a star pattern. Test the piston by pressing the push rod from the top and bottom. It should click each time. To finish up, make sure the push rod is in the down position and carefully slide the piston into the lower housing about halfway. Inspect the large O-ring in the groove on the top of the lower housing and carefully press the piston into the upper housing. Align the housing and hand tighten the body nut. Thread the suction hose nut onto the hose. Slide it onto the barb and hand tighten the nut. Slowly turn the water on and your injector should now be clicking and drawing concentrate. That's all for now. We hope this video has been helpful in troubleshooting your D45RE15 injector. For more information, please give us a call at 800-523-8499 or visit us online at dosatronusa.com. To see our other videos, check out our YouTube channel or visit the video page on our website. I'm Jason and this is Dosatron University. Thanks for watching.